Hello, welcome to PlantTube channel.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our gardening project. On February 28, 2021, we started the project of germinating asparagus from a seed in small pots. Today, we are excited to show you the progress of our plants and share with you our tips on how to successfully grow asparagus. But let's begin from the beginning. Here we have last year's harvested asparagus seed pods. So what we need to do first is to remove the seeds from the seed pods. Typically you will find 1 to 3 seed in every seed pod. You can pierce the pot with your fingernail and open them to remove the seeds as shown in the video. Asparagus is a perennial vegetable plant, which means it grows back every year for more harvesting. Another reason why this is a must-have vegetable plant. The number of asparagus spears that a plant produces during the growing season can vary depending on a variety of factors, such as the age of the plant, the health of the plant, the growing conditions, and the length of the growing season. Generally, an established asparagus plant can produce between 8 and 12 spears per plant during a growing season. However, the harvest period for asparagus is usually only 6 to 8 weeks, so the total number of spears harvested will depend on the length of the harvest period and how frequently the plants are harvested. It's worth noting that during the first few years after planting, asparagus plants may produce fewer spears as they become established. However, once they are fully established, they can continue to produce spears for up to 20 years with proper care and maintenance. So as shown in the video, we have used a small pot and filled it with some soil, and then used a pencil to make 3 small holes, and then inserted 1 seed per hole. Quite simple. And then a light tap on the soil. And then I repeated the process for all the other asparagus seeds I planted. Finally, I gave them a good watering to start them off on their growing journey. After carefully planting the asparagus seeds in small pots, we had to be patient and wait for the first signs of germination. Finally, on April 3, 2021, we noticed the first few seedlings poking through the soil. You might be thinking, that's all very well and nice, but will there be any asparagus harvested? Keep watching as the plot thickens. On the 29th of May, I decided to transplant these asparagus seedlings to a larger container, in this case a paper cup. These asparagus seedlings are long due for a transplant, and have become root-bound, which means they would have been more developed if I only had found the time to transplant them earlier. But even so, no real damage done as they will soon adapt to their new paper cup container. This is the paper cup I will be using. As can be seen, there are several holes underneath the paper cup for drainage. Here I can be seen adding 1/4 of soil to the cup. This allowed the plants to have more room to grow and develop their root system. And then finally top them up with additional soil. And then I repeated the same process for all the other seedlings that I transplanted. Now at this stage you're probably wondering why transplant to a paper cup and not transplant directly to a final destination, such as a raised bed or in the ground. Well, the truth of the matter is I don't have available space to plant them in any of those 2 options at that current moment. Also, I like the ability to move them around to sunny locations when I need to. In this video, we will be making more transplanting when necessary, and only then will I move them to their final destination, which will be included in this video. Now, keep watching, you'll be glad you did as the plot thickens. Once again, because I was unable to find time to transplant them to a larger container, as can be seen in the video, they have become too big for that paper container, and have fused with that paper cup. I used this larger pot to transplant my asparagus seedlings, and fill the container with some good potting soil, mixed with organic homegrown compost as a light fertilizer. Also, at this point I trimmed any dry ferns which needed to be cut. Added some water. I wouldn't worry about the paper cup, as the roots have already made their way through the bottom end of the paper cup. The paper cups will break down over time. And then I repeated the same process for all the other seedlings that I transplanted. Several months later, at winter time early 2022, the ferns have died back, and will need to be cut just above soil level. 31st of January 2022, and you can see in some of these containers that asparagus spears are starting to grow again. 31st of January 2022, and you can see in some of these containers that asparagus spears are starting to grow again. 31st of January 2022, and you can see in some of these containers that asparagus spears are starting to grow again. 31st of January 2022, and you can see in some of these containers that asparagus spears are starting to grow again. 31st of January 2022, and you can see in some of these containers that asparagus spears are starting to grow again. 31st of January 2022, and you can see in some of these containers that asparagus spears are starting to grow again. 31st of January 2022, and you can see in some of these containers that asparagus spears are starting to grow again. 31st of January 2022, and you can see in some of these containers that asparagus spears are starting to grow again. 31st of January 2022, and you can see in some of these containers that asparagus spears are starting to gro "31st of January 2022, and you can see in some of these containers that asparagus spears are starting to grow again. The advantages of using pots is that you can easily move them around until you are finally happy that you have found a more suitable place as a final destination, when they are at the stage when they can develop more decent asparagus spears. I wouldn't be cutting any asparagus spears for that year, as asparagus plant is too young, and not developed enough to produce those thick asparagus spears that we all love, so I just let them grow into ferns and let the expansion of the roots continue developing. So that's all very well and nice you're thinking, but what would have happened if I didn't need to do so many transplants, and had just done one transplant to its final destination? How well would it have grown? And would we had any asparagus spears for harvesting? Well, let's find out. This large water bottle will be its final home, and I will expect some decent asparagus spears. Some modifications are needed to use this container. You can click the link above to watch the video. Once the asparagus ferns had turned brown and died back, I cut them all to soil level. This will improve new green growth. I went ahead and cut all the asparagus ferns that had turned brown and died back to soil level in early January. At this stage it was necessary to top up all containers with a mixture of potting soil and homemade organic compost, which can be considered as the fertilizer. March 2023, and I am now ready to cut my first ever asparagus spear from this container. Several days later and more spears ready for harvesting. And there you have it, our journey from germinating asparagus seeds to growing mature plants. We hope you found this video helpful and learned something new about growing asparagus. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more gardening tips and updates.
Feel free to ask me any questions related to the video in the comment section below. I hope you have found this video of interest, and consider subscribing if you have not already done so. Also, I would appreciate if you hit that like button. Thanks for watching.